Hi, and welcome to the Canceled News, the only news program that both Joe Biden and Donald Trump refuse to visit. If you'd like to see me live, I'll be at the Loony Bin in Oklahoma City, April 7th to 10th. I'll be performing for the American Freedom Alliance in Los Angeles on April 12th and 13th, and I'll be at the Loony Bin in Tulsa, Oklahoma, April 14th to 17th. So please come see me. Since I'll be traveling, I won't be doing my YouTube show for 2 weeks, so this will be both my April Fool's episode and my Easter episode. And please be sure to like and subscribe, because I'd love to wake up on Easter morning and see that those numbers have risen indeed. Now here's what's in the news. In order to promote his new album, Lil Nas X is releasing a Nike Satan shoe, which has a pentagram and human blood in the sole, which is terrible. These are almost as hideous as those Yeezys Justin Bieber wears. Lil Nas X Satan shoes coincide with the release of a new music video in which he twerks on the devil and then breaks his neck and takes his place. Now, a lot of older conservatives are upset by the video because you're supposed to have to beat him in a fiddling contest, not do a bunch of gay stuff. But seriously, I can't believe Lil Nas X would do this around Easter just to troll people. He looks almost as creepy as the Easter Bunny. Nike is suing Lil Nas X for copyright infringement over his Satan shoes, which use their name without permission. And get this, Satan is also suing Lil Nas X for using his name without permission, and he's got a strong case. The legal team in hell consists of every lawyer who's ever died. This week, the trial of Derek Chauvin, the police officer charged in the death of George Floyd, began, giving local businesses just enough time to secure their storefronts before the verdict. During the trial, it was revealed that Chauvin kneeled on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, not the famously reported 8:46. The additional time was found in the newly released body cam footage, the Snyder Cut. Look, I know this is a controversial trial, and a lot of people on the right have been pointing out that George Floyd had drugs in his system and prior arrests and that he shouldn't be turned into a saint. But there's no excuse for a police officer to kneel on him like that for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Personally, I hope Derek Chauvin goes to jail, and I hope we get another 43 seconds of stand-up from Dave Chappelle. A giant evergreen container ship got stuck in the Suez Canal this week, and some people are blaming the blockage on a pharaoh's curse triggered by plans to move the body of King Ramesses II. In fact, it's already being adapted into the new Brendan Fraser reboot, The Mummy Returns, Your Delayed Cargo. Republican Representative Matt Gaetz is denying an allegation that he had a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl, calling it an extortion attempt. Now, if you don't know which congressman is Matt Gaetz, he's the one who looks like he'd have a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. After returning from obedience training, Joe Biden's dog Major has bitten more people and pooped on the carpet outside the diplomatic reception room in the White House. That's so weird. You know what? Do we have a picture of the dog trainer they've been using? That explains it. After Major's latest biting incident, Joe Biden decided to stick him in a crate like the children at the border. And Joe Biden still refuses to explain why the alleged dog poop on the floor contained Werther's Originals prune juice and part of Jill Biden's finger. A man was arrested after attempting to swim naked in Kendall Jenner's swimming pool. Her security guards knew something was wrong when they saw someone taking off their clothes without a single camera around. But it turned out to be a big misunderstanding, and Kendall explained to the police, no, that man is my mom. During Katie Couric's second week as host, Jeopardy fell behind the Family Feud in the ratings for the first time since Alex Trebek's death. Now, to be fair, Katie Couric was up against a really great episode of Family Feud. It was that one where Steve Harvey glares at somebody. And remember, Katie Couric is still beating both Alex Trebek and Steve Harvey when it comes to most failed shows. Elon Musk's girlfriend Grimes said that she would travel to Mars and would be willing to die there. Now, if the couple does move to Mars, hopefully their relationship works out. It would suck to be stuck there with your SpaceX. A man on TikTok claims to be a time traveler who visited the year 2027 and found that humans no longer existed. What I'm excited for is when TikTok no longer exists. In a new interview, Demi Levato revealed that she realized she was gay while watching the Sarah Michelle Gellar makeout scene from Cruel Intentions, which is also the exact same moment I realized I was straight. Joe Biden announced a $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which he plans to pay for by raising corporate taxes and eliminating tax breaks for fossil fuels. Biden only hates fossil fuels because he doesn't like the idea of you fueling up your truck with his childhood pet. That's Major the First, and he had a biting problem too. Paramount removed an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants from its streaming service because it features SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs breaking into a woman's house to steal her underwear. It's never good when you find crabs in your underwear. In a new interview, Demi Levato says that she is too gay to marry a man right now. So I'm sorry to any men who are in the market for a chubby, drug-addled feminist with short hair. All states will now expand COVID vaccine eligibility to everyone 16 and up. Basically, the COVID vaccine now has the same standards as Matt Gaetz. The highly anticipated movie Godzilla vs. Kong premiered this week. It's the first movie many fans have been able to see in a theater in more than a year, and the first time they've been able to see a city get destroyed since the last BLM protest. A Game of Thrones play is in the works and will soon debut on Broadway. The play is already being called Fun for the Whole Incestuous Family. Virgin Galactic has unveiled its new spaceship, the VSS Imagine. Although I'm more concerned about Richard Branson's other ship. He says he got it from an old friend, the VSS Lolita. Russia has developed and patented the world's first COVID vaccine for animals, so I guess it's now safe to get closer than 6 feet to wild animals. Madonna has been accused of photoshopping her head onto a fan's body in a picture she shared. She maintains the picture is real. I'm not sure. I'll let you be the judge. I mean, I guess you can see the pixels a little bit. A man in Gatlinburg, Tennessee was injured after he flew out of his seat on a roller coaster and landed on the tracks. And in order to stay healthy during COVID, he made sure not to scream the whole time. A new Pew Research survey found that an equal number of Americans say President Trump made progress solving the country's problems as say he made them worse. See that? Donald Trump brought equality to this country. The motel from Schitt's Creek is now for sale. The motel is fully operational except that Eugene Levy's eyebrows are clogging one of the tubs. Fox News is making former White House Press Secretary Kayleigh Mcenany host of its show Outnumbered. For those not familiar, Outnumbered is a Fox News show about a woman doing math. After starting her own daytime talk show, Drew Barrymore is launching her own lifestyle magazine. Because if there's one thing America needs, it's a privileged, rich white woman giving advice to the working class. I mean, nothing against Drew Barrymore, but I think we'd all be fine with a little Barry less. According to a study, 50% of the people in the UK now have COVID antibodies. The British say they're glad to be over COVID, but they hope their sense of taste never comes back. A school in Illinois attempted to appease the woke crowd by changing its name from Thomas Jefferson Middle School to Barack Obama Middle School, but a Latino group is upset because of Obama's treatment of undocumented immigrants. Look, as the left gets more and more extreme, it's becoming impossible to find any historical figure that pleases everyone. But I have a solution. From now on, we should name all schools after the one man in history who was sinless and guilt-free, who was both fully human but also led a life of perfection, who died an innocent martyr at the hands of unjust authorities, and who was actually black. I think you all know who I'm talking about. George Floyd. Happy Easter and happy April Fool's Day, everybody.